Hello everyone, welcome back, and boy do I have a shitstorm for you today. I did want to cover a few other things as well, so yesterday was also pretty productive, so we got here a thing, like this is completely wrong. I mean, again, I guess maybe, Tyler Oakley, apparently, but this should have just been Hillary watching Onision. I guess, even though both Hillary and Trump probably don't even know his channel exists and even care about what he does. But whatever, there was a whole discussion about this, which was rather interesting, but it's not very important. And I suspect this meme isn't gonna get deleted anyway. So if you want to find it, you probably could. Um, then we got this monstrosity here. Obviously, I don't care about LGBT rights or whatever. But I didn't even really bother to put out my opinion here. I just replied to it with another equally ridiculous meme, and I think this is a bit more, this just making fun of the whole idea. Obviously there are rumors about Michelle Obama being a trans person. So I got a whole bunch of. Again, I got doxed here. Barf, go support Trump. Just know, Ted Cruz, we know it's you. I actually do like that comment. You look like a fedora wearing libertarian. I don't even have a fedora. Don't disrespect the first lady like that. Like I give a shit. She's not my first lady, first of all. Rude and not dank, fucked up, get the fuck out. This meme is legendary. Quit being an absolute pansy. So, anyway, so this morning I woke up to another shitstorm here, which was pretty hilarious. It's the same idea, in a sense, only that instead of this chick, or, I guess I I am still inclined to call her a chick because she actually looks like a woman, and I'm like, okay, at least look at this. She's actually rather pretty, and even though she still has big hands and kind of, but I'm like, okay, I think she was in Orange Is the New Black, something like that. And I don't know if I can find her name now. I don't remember what her name was. Um, um, but it doesn't matter, I suppose. I mean, the point is that Caitlyn is an asshole. So people are dissing on her. That's the point of this meme as well. Look, if you look at the description, FYI, I'm not invalidating Caitlyn's gender. I'm saying that Laverne, as a liberal, LGBT positive trans icon, is better than upholding a homophobic, transphobic bigot as the paragon of the trans community. So apparently, Caitlyn Jenner is a homophobe and a transphobe, even though she's trans herself. Um, so that's why it's okay to diss on her. Um, so then you get this meme, which is also made by a girl. And it's just Bruce Jenner versus Caitlyn Jenner. And, my interpretation of this is obviously that Bernie Sanders, would prefer the male version of Bruce Jenner, first of all, because I guess his views are more in line with his gender, I suppose, in her mind, obviously, because this is still very much PC, very much about being a liberal or a Republican or something, or a Democrat or Republican. Um, and this has nothing to do with her transition necessarily. I mean, no, it does, but it's not because it's not in her. It's nothing against her as a trans person or against trans people. It's more something against her as a person. Um, so let's see. We could open a few comments here. This is just, there's too much going on here. Pretty amazing. Trash, Bernie ain't transphobic, fuck off. Garbage, fuck off with that trash. Nah, trans people are being killed and not accepted. It's called being oversensitive. Sigh. Preach, exactly. Blah de blah. You do realize if they posted this as an insult, you are giving the reaction they've been asking for, right? Oh, that's a good one. Nobody thought of that one before. I don't really care. I'm not being rude or nasty, just stating facts. We're supposed to be to prioritize giving them reaction over trans people dying. Girl, bye. Not reacting is what leads to silencing of minorities. Fuck that. We've been silenced for too long. Well, we're all dying and not being accepted every day. So what's the diff? Because being trans is so funny, right? I get hit by a bus. Real nice, man. No, it isn't. Why do you want to me to commit suicide? I mean that I want to too, but I got shit to do on this mortal plane. Sucks though it does. Huh? I mean, yeah, I want to too. Okay. He does want to kill himself, I guess. I don't think he was talking to you though in particular. I think he was talking to the operator. But yeah, Caitlyn Jenner isn't the quintessential transsexual. She's really not that great a person. We shouldn't hold her on a pedestal because she's trans. Personality matters too. Everyone is inherently entitled to their sexuality and shouldn't be discriminated against or killed or any of these other atrocities because said sexuality. But Caitlyn is a bad example of a trans person. You know, at least he understands the joke. I like your point. Apart from the Bruce Caitlyn part, it's just Caitlyn. Where did he say Bruce? Where did he say Bruce Caitlyn? Maybe he edited out. Duh, she's a homophobic Republican trash, but we still ain't fucking with transphobia, point blank. Yes, we are. And I'll tell you what, transitioning, like you're saying, it's not a thing to be taken lightly. Especially if you have to undergo surgery and to waste your natural assets in order to become something you aren't. But for most people who don't want to undergo that transition, and that has nothing to do with not having the balls, because you only lose them after the fact. All we can do about it is joke. I don't want to think about having to undergo, I don't want to know what a person must be thinking to be able to make a decision like that. I don't want to know what kind of shit is going on in his brain. And Caitlyn is a good example of this, and even people who are pro-trans and whatever seem to disagree with her. So what's up with that? And she even, according to all these people, we'll come to that. She even regretted transitioning and wanted to switch back to being a man. But apparently that fact is transphobic. She has undergone the experience. Maybe she maybe she thinks she was wrong. But that all that stuff doesn't matter. Obviously, I'm still calling her she because I'm a gentleman, I guess. Even though personally, if you have to dress like a woman, I don't know, go ahead, I guess. But I would be very careful about making a decision to change my body in any way. I mean, other than natural, you know. I mean, exercise and that kind of stuff is all well and good, and obviously changing your diet and stuff, that also should be possible. You know, trying to live healthier, but I don't think this is healthy, to be honest. So she's a homophobic Republican. Well, the Bruce Caitlyn thing was to show that there's a continuity of the personality regardless of how she identifies her gender as. That's a good point, you know, but they all just gonna fucking eat you up for it. Anutsikata, kill him. That's precisely the point I'm trying to make, haha. Stop using her dead name. I just explained the reason for that up there. To make a point that she had a similar personality regardless of what gender she is. When someone changes their name, do you call them by their old name? Deadnaming isn't okay no matter the reason. You know, if you change your name all of a sudden for no reason, I still need to get used to it, you know. Maybe maybe I just don't care, you know, or maybe your new name is so ridiculous that I'm not gonna use it. Deadnaming. I'm seriously, if you change the name, I don't. If you change the name for a boat or something into a water floater, you know, or I'm not gonna use that name. Especially if you know the person, you know. Or if you don't know her. I don't know. It just seems so... It seems irrelevant. Deadnaming. That's a new word. You know, if you make up words like that, deadnaming, I'm not gonna use them. I don't care. I know what it means because, okay, apparently her old name is dead. Wow, that's so original and relevant. You can make that point without deadnaming. Like holding Caitlyn Jenner up as the best trans person is a bit like holding up Ben Carson as the best ever black politician, or Hillary as the best ever female candidate. But their views and behavior do not justify any kind of bigotry whatsoever. Deadnaming, dude, I haven't even heard of that before. Exactly. By no means am I transphobic, but she used to be Bruce Jenner, and there's absolutely nothing offensive about saying that she used to call herself Bruce Jenner. That name denotes all that she did when she was Bruce. You can't say, oh, Caitlyn did such and such 10 years back because she was calling herself Bruce. Jeez. Deadnaming is using someone's dead name. Oh, wow, that explains. Basically the name they used before they came out as trans. It's a big no-no because deadnaming someone is reminding them of a period of their life that was likely really unpleasant and filled with gender dysphoria. Who gives a shit? Is Caitlyn Jenner reading these lines as we speak? Is she? None of us are attacking you. What you said was offensive and quite different from saying she used to be Bruce Jenner. It's not different at all. It's exactly what he said it is. I was not trying to offend in any way and don't understand how referring to her from actions that she did when she called herself Bruce and then calling those past actions to be done by Bruce Jenner is offensive. I understand you're not trying to offend anyone, but it's better to call someone by their new name than bring up their old one. Best practice. It's not better, especially if you're dealing with a transition over time, where before she had one name and after the fact she had another, you know, and you need to differentiate between those two time frames. I don't know. You know, in my case, my past is my past. I don't have a new name now, so I don't get to get a new chance. So in that situation, a trans person has even an advantage over you. You know, deadnaming is actually an advantage for a trans person Because if he did all manner of shit, all manner of crime as a cisgendered, or not cisgendered, as a pre-transition male, presumably, you know, if he runs over a kid with his car, you know, and then transitions, suddenly everything's forgotten and forgiven, you know. Suddenly he's a saint. Suddenly he you know, he has a, at least he has a fresh start, you know. Is that what you mean? What you're hinting at? Because I, as a person, you know, I'm not gonna transition, so I gotta carry all that shit I've done throughout my life, you know, till the end. So I better be careful, right? So let's see. Well, what else? What else? Okay, okay, I get you. The reminder of a time filled with fear. I understand, but dude, I think uh, it might be good idea not to take such things too hard and lighten up a bit. I never intended any ill will. Uh, no, you don't even need to apologize. All you did was, you know, delineate or differentiate between two, you know, pockets of time in somebody's life. And, you know, you gotta be able to do that somehow, you know, if, I don't know. Like, it can be hard to wrap your head around this stuff, and that's okay. You weren't going out of your way, and you said something that was insensitive but easily fixable. Uh, Anthony Robinson. I spend a good deal of time working with LGBTI youth. What's LGBTI? I mean, I know LGBTQ. Apparently, the whole thing about LGBT is just adding letters somehow. LGBTI. Does that mean introsexual or something? It means a heck of a lot of trans people to not have a heck of a lot to trans people to not have this happen. As far as they're concerned, they've always been their new name. Sure, they have. It's also dangerous. If someone passes, you're pretty much outing them. Who gives a shit? And if people don't take the little things to heart, then that just perpetuates the oppressive system we're all trying to fight. Try dealing with university faculty who don't understand why deadnaming someone on their class rolls isn't dangerous. Oh boy, such danger. Well, my only point was that Caitlyn shouldn't be the voice of trans people. Who she is as well matters. That's how well you might be right. That kind of thing is usually up to the individual. I've seen Caitlyn refer to her past self as Bruce. Ah, wow, that's a new one. I didn't hear that one before. Yeah, I don't pretend to speak for trans people. I'm just a regular cis dyke, but in general, that naming is pretty shit. I understand completely, but these are things that I have to say the majority of non-trans people don't know. The trans friends I have make fun of their old name persona and are very lighthearted and spin humor onto many an issue. So I haven't first-hand experience with someone taking offense to deadnaming at all. The trans friends of mine only take offense to outright bigotry and insensitivity. Yeah, I definitely understand what you mean. I know some people who do that on purpose to be transphobic, and that's absolutely horrible. But when it comes to talking about the past, whether it be the trans person themselves or another person, I've seen different trans people handle it differently. So in the end, it's best to stay safe than sorry. Good point. Like I said, I hadn't known about this series previously. I can definitely see how it'd be a malicious thing to do to constantly refer to someone by their dead name or gender. Alright, glad this solved. So let's continue. This is the worst one of these since the one that compared Bernie and Hillary to good and bad oral sex techniques. Yeah, that's true. This is so ugly. Yeah. Well, I guess. I mean, this meme is dead. Let's move along, people. Caitlyn is just a shitty person and it has nothing to do with her being transgender. Hey, you do understand. Well, it is ugly. Regardless, this meme is dead. Oh well. There are so many more meaning to this photo than the idea of it being transphobic. Calm your shit, people. Whether it's transphobic or not, and I'll leave that up to the trans people to decide, it's a crap meme, not dank 2 out of 10, etc. But Hillary and Caitlyn have so much in common. They're both women, they both look like dudes, and they both have deep homophobic beliefs. Yeah, well, that's a way to put it. Thanks, Jude Ezra Goodman. Sorry about the jerks and trolls, etc. I don't know who you're talking to and about. Um, I agree, Lamau. K. Schneider, no. Yes! I'm sorry people don't have common sense or transphobic without realizing. What? It's all true except maybe the part where they both look like guys, only Hillary looks so butch. Actually, it's the other way around, man. Hillary actually has a rather... I mean, I wouldn't call her ugly and I wouldn't call her butch either. She's just kind of older now. And she's kind of... I mean, how do you say? She's kind of stiff, somehow. But I do think she looks rather feminine. And she... personally, I do think she has... she has a nice face, more or less. Only it's really freaky because she makes weird expressions, but Caitlyn Jenner actually is really butch. Which is no surprise because she used to be a man. Why are you here? Well, my mom and dad were in Mexico and I made a mistake. Then when they went home, I made another mistake and I didn't have an abortion. Obviously. This is definitely transphobic. Every aspect of this shitty meme is transphobic. Oh, sure it is. Man, he needs a better song to sing, instrumentals too, and better quality camera. I'm not gonna watch that video now. What the actual fuck? That Bernie Sanders supports transgender rights and is against transphobia like this. Fuck you. It's not about the transphobia, it's about Bruce/Caitlyn Jenner. Syscom in this thread can fuck off and die. Oh, sure they can. I'm not gonna... Caitlyn Jenner is homophobic, right? Yeah, us queer folk are well, she's problematic as fuck, but that doesn't mean you'll get to dead name her and just generally be transphobic asshats. She's a shitty person, but that's nothing to do with her being trans. It obviously isn't because she's trans that we hate her. It obviously isn't because she's trans that we hate her. It's because she's hypocritical shitbag that we hate her, and that's what this meme is about. It's comparing Hillary to Caitlyn, not just trans. If you really think that's what this meme is intended, you're delusional at best. Kai Schneider, I think people are just too sensitive to transphobia. I understand, I'm sensitive to things that I struggle with too, and honestly, if the first thing you thought of was that this was against trans, you probably have a bit oversensitive transphobia. It's like what if a popular show brought in a character who happened to be trans that was deeply flawed but also highly charismatic, like BoJack Horseman. It instantly be seen as transphobic because people look for transphobia. Go fuck yourself. Let me get my dildo. Why do you do that? You're right, don't... Whatever, this is horrible. Are you sure you didn't mean to post this on the Donald Trump page? How? Buckle up, buckaroo. Nope. Trump trolls. Here's your sign, Trumpistan. We need snacks. This isn't about her driving or politics or fame. It's about her being trans. Sure it is. Everyone defending the OP should go vote for someone else. Bernie doesn't want you. We don't want you. Okay. I'll comment later. I think it's wrong that Caitlyn is being revered as so brave while other trans people out there have no voice, and Caitlyn does simply because she has money, and Caitlyn is not the voice of trans people. Whatever, dude. I'll give you a like for the attempt. No one said that, kid. People are talking about trans people. Did I say anyone did? Was I directly replying to anyone at all? This is actually relevant to the original post. Please do me a favor and don't attack me for literally no reason at all. I think it's wrong that Caitlyn is being revered to... Obviously, that's what I said. Can you please just not... And kid, did you throw that word in there just with the hopes of insulting me somehow? Although I agree she isn't the voice of trans people, but she is transgender. Period. Making fun of her because she is transgender is the same as making fun of other trans people. Sure it is, no, but I have not made fun of her for being transgender. That is not an acceptable reason to dislike her at all. I dislike her because I think she's a bad person. And I think it's a form of transphobia in and of itself to treat trans person differently and not point out things they do that are wrong simply because they are trans. Good boy, good job. Holy fucking shit. You should be able to say I dislike Caitlyn Jenner without people assuming you dislike trans people as well. Actually, that's what equality means, isn't it? Trans people are 100% entitled to their sexual identity and should not, under any circumstances, get shit for it. But it's okay, but it's not okay. But damn it, if someone sucks, I'm not going to like them regardless of sex, race, creed, gender, religion, etc., etc., etc. I don't like Caitlyn because of core personality things that I have issues with. If some other trans person was the same, I would not like them, but I wouldn't dislike them for being trans. That's utterly ridiculous. I've been trying to say that, Anthony, but people just keep getting upset. Yes. While I agree that even the littlest insensitivities to transsexuality should be stomped out, not liking someone because they're shitty isn't an insensitivity. No one is ignoring what she did, but this is obviously making fun of her for being trans. No, it's not. It's a reason to be upset. Oh, okay, sure. Now, if you say so. The original post is, my comment isn't. No reason to start an argument with someone who agrees with you. But it still has no relevance to the original post, so why stir... It has original relevance, because the original post, even though he says it isn't, is... The original post only makes fun of her for being, as a person, not as a trans person. I mean, yes, it uses the trans thing against her, but that's not, that's just making the link, that she's still an asshole, maybe even more so now. But because, being trans gives her the excuse to do anything she wants. And it makes people apparently forget all the shit she did in the past. Because they aren't allowed to deadname her, so they can't accuse her of anything. Stir shit up needlessly is sorta what you're doing by commenting on something that's been dead for about an hour now. My comment actually was relevant in my opinion. If you disagree, I'd appreciate it if if you didn't just, attack me for literally no reason at all. I'm not trying to incite anything, honestly, just stating my opinion. No. Supporting Caitlyn's decisions, regardless of regarding gender, by no means diminishes other trans people. But not supporting Caitlyn's decisions regarding gender, whatever the reason, definitely diminishes trans people. Can we get rid of this mod? This is gross. Good job for being transphobic. Transphobic, fuck nugget. Caitlyn Jenner is garbage. What the fuck is this? Well, actually, she is garbage, obviously. I love how people are one here say stuff like lol. Everyone's oversensitive, and that it's just a joke. Well, here's the thing. Trans people have to be constantly afraid and scared that they're going to get murdered or beat up. It isn't a joke to make posts about her before she transitioned. We get enough shit from her. We don't need any about her. She's a terrible icon for the trans community, but she gets so much airtime. Go ahead and make the memes about her driving about almost anything besides her being transgender. Besides, if you're going to make transphobic posts and memes, please go find yourself a Trump group, because Bernie wouldn't want you here. Thank you. Preach. Exactly, it's what the closet bigots that say you're being too sensitive or get over it. It's always. No, fuck that. I'm reacting in perfect proportion to how fucking stupid people are being. Transphobia, homophobia, racism. All of it. It's all stupid and does not need to be tolerated by people anymore. Thank you. Oh my love, that. Oh my, I love that picture post. I need to download that one ASAP. Ashley Rose. What's it called? It's the League of Legends stickers. Yes, thank you. Blah, 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 blah. Stop perpetuating trans misogyny. You're not funny. You're not edgy. You're a fucking asshole. You're a transphobic piece of shit who please insert your opinion firmly into your rectum. They're both terrible people. Invalid meme. I think that makes it especially valid. Yeah, as a transgender person hoping to afford proper healthcare, this seems awfully out of place here. If you honestly thought you were dank with this transphobia, especially on BSDMS. 0 out of 10. We can agree that Bruce and Caitlyn are shit, right? Bruce does not exist. Caitlyn Jenner is the person this is concerning. Caitlyn Jenner killed someone, if I'm not mistaken. She's a piece of shit, but she's still a woman. I'm referring to when Bruce existed, and now the present Caitlyn. I'm not presenting anything transphobic if you think I am. Yep, exactly. I have no problem with memes about Caitlyn, just ones about her transness and heaps assholish. And I get that, but they are the same person. She has always been Caitlyn, and is willing to share that with the public now. Oh, sure, she has always been. You know, because you've known her all your life and you know exactly what she's been thinking all her life. Yeah, I really hate how so many people disrespect people's gender roles. Anyone can be anyone they want. Oh, sure they can. By the way, as I am referring to a present individual as two different people, I don't have any means of transphobia, but was only referring to Caitlyn as a bad person in each stage of her life. Yep, she is, that I agree with you on. Bruce was always Caitlyn, and it seems a total douche Kano. I like Kanos. That's actually an interesting word, douche Kano. Yes, please refrain from insulting Kanos. This is bait, it certainly isn't very good. Not dank, more like trashy, classless, and ignorant. Wow, not dank. Transphobic and undank. Ha ha ha, dank. I hate Caitlyn Jenner, but I would never invalidate her transition like that. Just such a shitty thing to do. Her transition, lol. Yes, her. She is a woman. Oh, sure she is. You know, let's deny reality altogether. Wyatt, you sound like a little boy. That's the tone I read in your comment. Just so you know. JD Morden, I'm so glad, Dad. She's a woman now. That would have been his transition into being a woman at the time, so he's kinda right. There you go. It's okay, son. You'll be a fine man someday. We're talking in the present tense. She's not a he. Go, you know, we can talk in the past tense as well. You know, it's just grammar. It's just, you know, talking about the past. I'm down with changing your gender and whatnot. Being born in the wrong gender's body happens, and it's cool to change that to reflect who you are. That being said, I view gender as sex in a biological sense. So if Caitlyn still has a wing wang, then she's biologically a male. Wow, amazing. That's not your place to make life decisions about anyone's wing wang, bro. You know, she still has it though, so, you know, he didn't make the decision, it's just a fact, it's still true. I didn't say you were right though, I just said that he's not completely wrong either. She's still biologically male, like he said, but I'll personally stick with not giving a shit about Caitlyn Jenner in general, except for to call her garbage. If someone was born with a penis and had an accident, so had to get it removed, would you consider them a female as they no longer have a wing wang? No, they would be a, you know, they would be a eunuch or something. Why are you so obsessed with someone else's junk? Mind your own business if you don't really care. The gaslighting is really unnecessary. Bringing up a trans person's genitalia in general comes off as transphobic. Oh, sure it does. You know, they do define themselves by their genitalia. I mean, yes, personally, I wouldn't call a man who loses his junk a woman automatically. But that's exactly why I wouldn't call a man who transitions to a female a woman either. Because all she did was lose her fucking genitals. That doesn't mean she can have babies, for example. You know, and I'm still calling her she because it's just more convenient, I guess. Or because I'm just already too far indoctrinated, too far into the rabbit hole to be able to formulate the difference anymore. How do we know Wyatt is really a man? We have no way of verifying he has a wing wang, so by his logic, do we refer to Wyatt as female? I'm just trying to respect your worldview, Wyatt. Sure you are, dude. You're such. Seriously, I mean, this guy. I just explained it to you. Let's not get hung up about it. See, there's no also trolling him back. It's always good for pick me up if the trolls ever get you down. Wyatt Colin Treckle, someone doesn't understand the difference between gender and sex, go to school. You should go to school. I mean, gender is just that, male or female, you know. If you transition, you can look like a female or like a male, you know, if you do it the other way around. But that doesn't mean you are the real deal, you know. And a man, if you happen to fool a man to have sex with you or something, and he finds out that you're really transgender person, then he will feel insulted. For example, just saying, Silverline, except if he's gay or something. I see a lot of you guys supporting trans people, and that gives me hope that we can make progress when it comes to how we treat each other. I don't think we see that on pages for any other candidate. I don't agree. Even on Donald Trump's page, they are actually nicer than they are here. There's not half as many shitstorms there. 100% support trans people, but Caitlyn Jenner is a piece of shit person, trans or not. That's totally fine. The problem with this meme isn't that it's putting her down, it's the implication that she was somehow better before physical transition. She's a woman. You have every right not to like that woman, but contesting her womanhood is uncalled her. Holy shit. Alright, we just got through all there. I mean, it's all the same thing. People just complaining about deadnaming and misgendering and not. And I mean, this is just more. It's about, you know, past and present. You know. And I guess maybe it is, but it's not transphobic. It's more like, you know. Being trans doesn't mean that you don't have, you know, you're no longer responsible for your actions. That's all this meme is saying. And, you know, at least as a man, you know, I've tried to cover that at some point. Oh, here you go. That's not the. There are a few discussions I'm just gonna get into. So look at this. There's still just 3 discussions or something. We got. Let's see, it's very close. It should be here. Wait a minute. Oh, there you go. Everybody hates Caitlyn Jenner, but saying something about it still makes you transphobic. Shake my head. There's a difference between not liking Caitlyn because she's an abhorrent person and not liking her because she's a trans woman. You know, what if those two are related? What if she's a trans woman because she's an abhorrent person, or she's an abhorrent person because she's a trans woman? I don't think. I think it's the former rather than the latter, because obviously she already was a abhorrent person before she became a trans person, you know. But you don't know what makes people decide to transition like that, you know. For some it may be, I don't know, it may be a smooth process, you know, that they just somehow formulated it at a young age. But for others it may be, you know, it may actually be just a psychosis, you know. I don't know. We don't take that into account. While she may have transitioned, she didn't change her Republican, homophobic and largely sexist views. But you could say OP preferred her when she was a man. At least then her beliefs were still consistent with her gender, lol. And then we get this gif, you know, where Sanders just... Casey, that's 100% true, but also not the point of the meme. The meme is pointless. Bernie doesn't deserve to be compared to either past or present identities of this person. Bernie is better than that. He doesn't love money like Caitlyn does and always has. First honest remark so far, there's hope for you yet. It doesn't mean that people should be transphobic, and I find your comment severely condescending. Nobody's being transphobic. I think the OP just meant to say that Caitlyn's transition doesn't fit with her overall views and personality. Obviously Bernie wouldn't like her as a person, but at least when she was still a man, she didn't get any overdue attention. No dank for you. Oh, that was the gif. She already posted it a few times. Because that's also very, you know, very progressive. Posting the same gif over and over. Just like the same slogan. None of these memes do... Oh, wait. This helps Bernie how? None of these memes do, and I don't think Bernie expects much of this group, to be honest. Lol, well, whose name is on it? Whose name is on... Yeah. Yeah, because that doesn't just serve to give him a bad name. I mean, it's still hilarious, I don't mind. Just saying, let's not overestimate the importance of this page. Don't underestimate it either, lol. A lot of people vote on arbitrary things, such as gut feelings or what celebrity backs them. People post bullshit as fact all the time. I like seeing it to at least reflect well on Bernie instead of potentially alienate voters, right? You know, posting bullshit as facts is one thing, but most of these memes do not pretend to be facts. especially those comparison memes. If you look at the one about PC or consoles, right? There is no preference. I don't think Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton actually give a shit about computer games. So, nobody pretends these are facts. Um, well, that the other way I can't help. Well, what the other way I can't help Bernie if I'm from Europe. Either way, I think this group helps sharing good vibe about Bernie, however it may be small. If they let their vote be influenced by a group that can't even seem to take a joke most of the time, then they deserve what's coming to them. While considering the fate of the planet hangs in the balance, because of the TPP, maybe you could all chill out until November. November? I'm not sure if that's November. I think that's what he means. I don't know when the elections are actually. At the moment, there's a massive fraud going on, and we are trying to keep it tight for a few more days. Those are all precisely the reasons why there can be no chill. I don't see your point. We are using the same word in different ways. Maybe, but we would both agree that these are indeed times that call for action. Maybe they deserve it, but I sure as hell don't, and it definitely affects me and a few billion others. More Bernie, less burn, Alex. Fair enough. I do think it depends on the situation though, so I do kind of like to keep the balance. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with this meme though. It may not be particularly helpful, more of a politically loaded preference meme in my humble opinion, but it sure as hell ain't transphobic either. So I'm just gonna skip these and let's go to the last discussion, because I'm really about done. You're all being too sensitive about this. First off, it's a meme, not something to be taken so seriously, and when you think about it, Hillary tries to be the female version of Bernie, so it actually makes sense. These types of jokes literally get people beaten and killed. Killed! Women like me have been shot, stabbed and beaten to death because people have the types of notions that this joke reinforces, so when you have the threat of actual violence and death hanging over your head just because of who you are, then you can start to talk about being too sensitive, blah 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 blah. So then you get this whole fucking shitstorm, and I'm not going to go through all this because this is just... I mean, let's just not, because let's just read where it came to. I honestly don't care about her gender identity or sexuality at all. I didn't take the meme that way, and I also never stated that I had any hatred towards that community. Like I said somewhere up top, that I don't care what people do or believe in, as it doesn't affect me. People are just getting butthurt over this. But yeah, I guess that's just it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I'm just, trying to filter through this shit and make sense out of it. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope I didn't miss anything important. So, see you later, guys. Ciao.